jumping in. We have to, of course, wait for the map veto as well. Make sure we see what map we're going to be playing on. But yeah, absolutely, some good discussion there to see if we'll see any of that. Of course, especially if
I don't think so.
But yeah, we're going to start out with Consulate and Clubhouse, the auto ban. So no Clubhouse. Consulate's a good one for Rec as well.
The real question is, are you going to put that operator pick on all your hopes and dreams to go to LAN? I don't think you are.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think we're just all of a sudden going to see, the pocket strat Warden, and it just works every round, and DarkZero can't get around it.
If they can make that work. I mean, we saw Super try Warden as well. We just didn't get to see it work, but yeah, no. Border, the first ban here by Reciprocity, so no one really wanted to play Border too much. And Coastline, again, not a huge preference. It surprises me that DarkZero, of all people, that don't really want to play Coastline too much right here because they're a good map. I mean, I guess Reciprocity is good Coastline too. So
yeah, I was going to say, it's Reciprocity and Coastline.
I think that's what it probably is, because DarkZero has a good Coastline as well. But Bank, nope, not going to get played.
All right, what do you want to play?
Bank, but they don't want to play it against DarkZero, who have a very good Bank. Kafe. That's an interesting choice because DarkZero played it once, Reciprocity not at all. This season, of course, I'm not including lands whenever I talk about that, just the season. DarkZero, I believe, lost on it to EG, if I remember correctly. So it's not necessarily shown to be a great map for either team, but I was just talking in the kind of the pre-match stuff earlier about Kafe not being played enough here, but I got to imagine they watch all the strats from EU as well and look to see what things they can use from that. So we may see a little bleed over on that, but I don't know. It's been interesting. We saw some interesting Kafe play, for example, earlier in Latin America as well today. Some poor attacks and some good attacks and things like that. But let's see what you guys think. What will the numbers look like here? And
not too bad.
That seems about. I mean, that reflects the scoreboard at the moment for the most part here. So it's about right.
And as for map stats, actually, this is Rec's most banned map.
Yeah, they just
so it's either they're saving some stuffs for this moment where they absolutely need it.
Can't remember who was the decider on. I think was it Rec because they banned Bank last, right? Or not?
No, it was DarkZero.
DarkZero. So Bank, and then was the last map.
Yeah. And for DarkZero, they've played this 4 times and they've only lost on it once. So they've won 3 times on this map, whereas Reciprocity has only won on it 1 time the 2 times they played it.
Yeah, and you're talking outside of Pro League, right?
No, this is just overall in the last 3 months.
Oh, okay, just overall. Yeah. So that was outside of Pro League.
Correct.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously they looked at those.
There's other things other than...
No, I know, and I just want to be clear on that because, of course, they made it sound like I was an idiot earlier when I said this, the number of times they played.
Oh, no.
Just make it that clear.
No, you're good. It's over the last 3 months.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely something that should be an interesting contention between these two. I think, of course, Kafe has a lot of possibilities on it, but they've started to get fleshed out. When it was brand new, and EU played it the entire first play day of the season, that was, everyone figuring everything out. A lot of stuff's been figured out now. These guys know it. They've played it. This should be like a little bit battle of one-upmanship, I think, in terms of trying to counter each other. Like you said, Rec banning it a lot as well. Not wanting to show it or not wanting to play it. They could have also walked into the wrong ban thinking DarkZero would go with the other map. It does happen. You can't always perfectly predict your opponent.
That's why in this map pool, you definitely need to be knowing what you're doing at least on every map. Like, you have to have a general idea. You can't be like, we just don't play that. Unless it's your first ban every single time, unless you're going to go the Empire route and go, we just don't play Villa. We're just going to ban it. We never play Villa or never play any Villa.
You'd be surprised how often teams somehow still pull out wins out of just stuff
on maps that they just don't play.
My favorite example is that was one favela match we got once. When it was when it was the team that's now Rogue. Yeah. And I remember asking Steak, and I was like, were you guys prepared for Villa? And he was like, no, dude, we had no idea how to play Villa, so we just like...
Oh, you said favela.
Favela, yeah.
Okay.
Did I just say Villa? I mean, yeah. So, yeah, favela. Just,
okay, I was going to say favela.
He was like, no, we had no idea how to play. We just played it. And like, that was back in the day against Milspec, and that was like the one time we saw it in Pro League. But it was just like, sometimes a good team can play a map they're not prepared for, and...
Especially a map like Favela, man. That map is so random.
Yeah.
There's a reason it's not in Pro League anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a good map.
No, we don't really have maps anymore, partially because of the way we have the auto bans, that we don't have maps that are just never played. So it's good. We also have a smaller map pool, too. I think we were at 9 at that time. So
we're at 7 at this point, so it's been
tricky.
Yeah, it's been a little shrunken.
And for those of you who aren't aware, we generally only change maps, between seasons, not in the middle of the season. So even though we did have the new canal out, if we just, it gets decided to be put in, it wasn't going to be put in the middle of the season. So who knows? We may or may not have a change for the next season.
Crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. It's up to the pros. It's up to Ubi and ESL to all decide that together. But the nice thing is usually the pros get a say in that as well. So they get to say like, we don't want to play this map. So like they had a hand in saying like we would take a new Kafe over Oregon. And that's why we saw that brought in. And I would like to see an Oregon revamp at some point because I would love to see the map come back. I know it's people are pretty bored of it. It's still my favorite map, but I can sympathize with the boredom of it at the moment. But we'll always have new operators brought in as well. Of course, at Japan, I'm sure they'll probably announce new operators. And I don't remember if we have a new map this time or it's a rework. I'm trying to recall.
I think everything's a rework this year, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. Yes.
I couldn't remember if we were alternating or not on that. But the reworks have been good. I like New Canal. I don't know it super well yet, but
I love the New Canal.
I think it's got potential. I remember a lot of really good Canal matches back in the past, but it did get a little stale. Everything was about that top box.
Everything was about the west windows. Just repelled there with Blackbeard. That's before bans as well, so you can just take Blackbeard and just rip everybody apart inside.
Yeah, a lot of you people that don't remember before bans, like they're not even that new, but that was godsend. We are getting in the match now, though, so just took a second to get everyone in, of course. So everyone ready here, hopefully. It look like the have fun's coming out. So hopefully the operator bans here will be interesting. I feel like the things have changed up a little bit more towards the end of the season, so they've gotten a little more unpredictable. So we'll hope that stays this way.
Well, first ban coming out is going to be Team Reciprocity on defense, so they'll have the first ban, and it's going to be Thatcher, which is something that is not completely random on Kafe. It's kind of random for North America, as we were talking about earlier. Thatcher's not banned out very, very often, but for Kafe in particular, it's something that happens quite often because of his utility and the ability to get the freezer wall open so early on. Jackal going to follow that up.
Yeah, Jackal, an operator that Fox, for example, likes to play quite a bit, does get banned against him fairly often. I gotta imagine we'll see a bit of roaming. The chat as well. I just love the sucking up coming from Fox and Laxing to DarkZero. Please don't knock us out of the contention for Japan. Mirror ban there, not too unexpected either. What will it be for the last one though? Echo, Maestro, or something interesting? Echo. There we go.
Going to be Echo. Yeah. So this is. This is just kind of how Kafe goes.
That means Maestro on top floor, of course, playing over in the heaven side. Going to be the usual pain for teams.
I think the big thing is that they're going to have to clear mid because a lot of Kaid's going to get played due to the fact that there's no Thatcher on the board.
Exactly. You're going to have a lot of trouble opening freezer wall. So we'll see. Of course, that's if they go to play Kaid. And Mark already starting on that 4-bar, so no surprises there. As you mentioned, you can take advantage of being able to actually get those from below, as you were, I assume, alluding to the fact that you can use the Kaids from below to actually do it so that it's not something that's directly on the other side of the wall that you can see on the same floor. And that's one of the cool things about the way his gadget works, is you couldn't do that with, say, Bandit Batteries or a Mute Jammer the same way. We will see a Twitch snuck in, though. That will be something to potentially deal if he can sneak the drone in there. Because it was a 6th pick at least, so they might not be expecting it, but if he uses those shock drones a little willy-nilly early, could get caught off. This is one of the maps, too, where you'll see a lot of gridlock. I feel like it was a Rogue that was kind of showing that the very first time when Eclipse was bringing it quite a bit. And it proved to be a very good operator with the 2 stairs on this map. So, well, there's 3, but Brown is not as big a deal.
Well, Reciprocity already deviating away from their regular path on Kafe. They actually have 100% play percentage when available on Smoke on this map on the defensive side, but already went away from that. Yeah. They have Retro on the Mute. I'm going to assume that Mark has something to do with that as well, since he is on the Kaid, and that's what we were talking about earlier, that they were going to have to clear the mid floor. Yeah. Mark's currently inside of Christmas, but the usual area for a Kaid to play here is going to be down inside of that reading area, so you can deal with the freezer wall.
I can imagine it's going to be Laxing to help protect him. Laxing on Valkyrie has been such a strong roamer this whole season, and that's something that if he's allowed to play it and play just that really flexible roam, he usually doesn't get picked early. He rarely seems to get cleared doing it. So that's really who they're going to have to worry about. And of course, them banning Jackal means they can't use it to track him down, so that will, I guess in a sense, work against him. We'll see if they can at least use the gridlock tracks to be able to try and stop a rotate, because a lot of times when he was playing that, I remember at least the first half of the season, he was always rotating late to try and stop a plan or to be able to help on against the execute. But those tracks makes that harder to do. It's not like he's going to have an impact to take those out. I don't think he's going to waste a C4 on them either, so he'd likely have to shoot them.
Those gridlock tracks play a big importance in quite a few maps now. We see it on Coastline, Consulate, and Kafe quite often.
In Cigar.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That was a good rotation for
Retro,
utility earlier on, instead of running that Smoke. They have the Mute out, and as we know, DarkZero loves their setups, so very good idea to try and pull away as much information from them as possible.
It really slowed down hot and cold here.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through already. They are going to get some information. It's actually going to be Kaid stopping the minibar wall for Staircase. So instead of holding down Freezer, they're going to attempt to hold down Christmas. So a little bit of a different idea here, but it might get them in some trouble.
Yeah, it's not one I agree with here.
No, not at all. Looks like they are going to be able to get the wall open unless he's going to be able to get the Kaid on in time, and he will. They still can't get any information. Frag grenade goes down, doesn't deal any damage either to Mark. Just a very, very small smidgen.
He's really slowed them down in a minute and a half burned. Nyx does take down Skies in the meantime, though, and that's the Jaeger down. Not a huge deal, but that is one potential roamer off the board. But the fact that Retro's here to cover as well, you see Mark just trying to stay safe. And honestly, red wall not being opened, a minute 10 left. This is actually really good. I was going to say I don't agree with it, but if Mark can keep playing like this, he can stay there as long as he wants. I don't care that he died at that point. He actually succeeded in something I didn't think he could pull off. Only 1x Cairo left for Freezer, so he did his job for Freezer as well, technically.
That's
really
all
well played.
Yeah, that's all they needed. They just needed that freezer wall locked down, and holding down Christmas definitely did that trick. So now all they have is one piece of hard breach possible. Mint's going to get tagged up from an Evil Eye. It's now all on the backbone of the side as well.
I love how he whipped it around so fast, too.
Yeah, I heard that rappel, immediately went over to the piano window and removed someone's head for them. But now this is all on DarkZero to try and get something to give on this round, because this backbone of Reciprocity does not even have to show them the light of day at this point in time. Looks like they're going to just try and rush down bar. Hopping inside of Skylight as well, the Evil Eye going to be able to read all of this out. They're getting aggressive, but Foxy's not even aware of the situation, even though he's the one on the Evil Eye. Still have Retro and Laxian alive as Nyx will go down, but Hot and Cold's going to get the refrag. All of a sudden, it's all left up to Retro after such a great round. He knocks it down to a 1 versus 3, but the diffuser is going down in the process. Hot and Cold finally gets that diffuser down. They do have Nyx down as well, so it's technically speaking a 1 versus 2 unless they're going to be able to get him back up, which it does not seem like they're going to go for. Actually cancel that, they will. Rotation for Retro, quick shot, and DarkZero claims the very first round of Kafe.
Such a great start to the round, and I love the fact that DZ just said, you know, let's just push. I gotta imagine they droned that a bit first, and they had the intel on that in terms of positions to push that, but that was a really risky play, even dropping Skylight.
What is Foxeye doing, though? That's the real question.
Like you said, he's on the Evil Eye.
He's on the Evil Eye. He's literally shooting them with lasers.
Yeah.
I am going to assume that he thought someone had his cross, and they did not.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, he's got the Alda. He should be. That is his domain. Is to just
peek that.
shoot down
Yes.
that. You don't even have to like peek it in the normal sense of like peek and shoot. You just start firing and hit lean.
Yeah.
And you're golden.
Yeah.
At
You
that
have
point.
81 bullets. It's going to take a long time for them to try and get through that.
You're basically you're just a tornado of bullets flying down the bar. They will bring Mozzie this time. I think a good idea in combination with the mute. Just continue to stall out their droning as much as possible. I gotta wonder if at some point people are gonna wish they could reinforce that wall on Cigar, where the mute jammer was, and where also they set up the angle into, because now everyone's using that angle. We saw it during Latam as well.
Oh, the one through the humidor?
Yeah, just right into the freezer. And I was like, I wish you could reinforce that wall now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously not the case. So freezer is definitely a lot more of an unsafe position. You don't have a hatch to drop as well. So you do have to play it in there a little bit more risky. The rotates into bathrooms or, in this case, the just into the freezer deeper itself still matter a lot. But there's no escape once you're in that freezer. You just get kind of trapped. So I think that's starting to become a problem for a lot of teams on defending upstairs here. Now that that angle is being used so often, teams just can't seem to play around it. Like you said, the cross, for example, not being well covered from teams. That rush that they just did, that's working a lot more often than it used to, partially because people cannot hold freezer the same way to have that cross. And I think it's a big problem. I mean, Retro really should have been on that C4 for a throw, potentially, if he still had it left at that point, just to like, hey, they're dropping Skylight, just huck it towards Skylight at that point.
Yeah, that was definitely Reciprocity's round to lose, especially after how long they held down Christmas. And
kudos to Mark.
Yeah, and as we know about a lot of the top teams inside of this game, you show them one strat, they've already got an idea of how to counter it the next time. So probably not a good idea to go for the same exact look as Reciprocity had the last time, but we'll have to see what their idea is of it. I already like Skies shifting away from the ADSs of Jaeger and shifting over to the Pest to try and deny even more information like you were talking about earlier. That Mute Mozzie combo is just so detrimental if used properly. It does seem like they are going to be going for the exact same setup. I believe, if I know my silhouettes, that's going to be Kaid on the opposite
side. I'm surprised how much you start to recognize the silhouettes over time.
Oh, Sky's actually going to hop outside and find two. That's huge.
He made the right choice on the
goodness. That's the Buck and the Zofia.
I hope his pests were already set up, but he was more than enough.
It doesn't even matter. Yeah. That doesn't matter at all. That literally
if they were, even better, right?
Even better. I would hope he'd have him set up earlier as well. But
Skies and Mark, these early rounds are wrecks. For sure.
Everyone is important now, and one of them can't even use their drones. Mitt can't even use his drones because Pest and Mutes exist.
Because you can't jump.
So he's just another guy with a gun.
That is, whew. I mean, a good gun.
I mean,
let's not underrate the gun.
It's a fantastic gun.
But you're right. Yeah, it's the only real utility that's going to be hugely important is almost going to be the gridlock tracks more than the Habonics Kairos at this point. Because yeah, maybe you can open up a wall, but you don't have enough people to fight around it. Well, the timing here for Mint is key, and just that F2 takes a lot of damage in the process though. About 40 HP left, maybe.
Very intelligent move by Mint as well. He knows that Reciprocity likes to just rotate around the map often, and he's going to catch Laxon with his pants down. Exactly. So that was a very big pick. And, well, after the Reciprocity special of Skies just hopping out the window, overly aggressive, and gets 2 kills, you kind of had to expect that, you know, when you put him up against a wall, and Mark's going to continue this reign from inside of Christmas, brings man advantage back into their favor, places a Nitro Cell over the door.
Christmas surprise for them. Exactly. You want to come in here? I got a present for you. The timing is key, though. The timing is key. Oh, he tried. That's still going to distract him, and that's enough of a distraction. Retro still with his back this round again. All on Mint with such low health. I don't think the F2 is going to be enough here. It's going to be more of an Alt F4 as he just is going to have to fight this. At least Mark at low health, he has that. If he could pick off Mark first to make it a 1v2, a little more doable. But he's got limited entry points here. He could get finished off by the Evil Eye at this point.
Mark doesn't even have to peek. He just has to stand right here, wait, and it's just going to win out on time. Mint's going to have to peek in here. He probably knows he's coming towards minibar. Yeah, quick shot from the F2, but already getting lit up from the lasers again from the Evil Eye. Inside of Freezer will be one of the remaining members. It's actually going to be Fox A killing him off with the laser instead of some lead. So that's going to be the first round for Reciprocity. And again, what else would you expect from these guys? They see an entire frontal attack going towards Christmas. Hey, somebody huck yourself from a window, possibly get some skills. Excuse me, possibly get some kills. Yeah. And it's going to be Skies who ends up picking up those.
That surprises me. That was Fox's job since year 1, is to throw himself out of windows. That's why they picked up Skies. I guess so Fox could stay in sight that time. And to be fair, Fox got the final kill with the Evil Eye, so that worked out. But that was a gamble that absolutely paid off for them that round. I mean, the first round as well, it almost paid off. I think they're making some smart plays here in DarkZero, just having to slug it out at the end. It's, maybe some of the fights are coming favorably, but I like the way the Reciprocity are thinking. They're just trying to exploit any weaknesses they can in DarkZero's attacks, and the predictability of DarkZero's attacks is going to cost them. Of course, now they have to change sites, but at least they got to figure out some ways they can try and play bar, because I got to imagine they're going to end up back at bar at least one more time, if not 2 more times, depending on how things go down. But Kitchen, this will be things a little bit different. Retro now, instead of the mute, he's going to be on the dock, but Skies is going to try. The Mozzie again, and Mark and Laxon going to continue their roles. So Fox also changing up. He's going to pick that Jaeger role. No Maestro this time. Not necessarily as important on this site, because there's not a lot of places where you're going to put Evil Eyes that they're going to be hugely impactful. You're certainly not going to stick them in Bakery and hope they don't destroy them. So, makes sense. You want to really kind of conserve your resources inside. And grenades are going to be a big deal if walls get opened. So, you definitely want to have those ADSs, because there's a lot of places to throw those in. I mean, heck, you could possibly even stop a Gridlock's track if they happen to be sloppy. BC also going to be the nade master here, so that, ADS is even more important.
And Reciprocity's definitely been screaming this map quite often. They've already selected 2 operators inside of this game alone that they have not played on this map ever, Emzo. Ever. It's going to be mute as well as the dog, so you can tell they've tried to change up the general game plan of what their idea of Kafe is, and so far it seems to be working out, but DZ is definitely on red alert now for any of these hop-outs.
Well, you got to keep in mind, this is probably Rek's most important game of the season, if not second most important. This is what's going to help decide if they go to Japan, so they really need to pull out all the stops. There's no saving strats here. That is definitely not going to be a thing. Reciprocity needs this, and they need it bad because they've just missed out on too many lands. EG, on the other hand, just more miss out on some of the grand finals lately.
Yeah, and Reciprocity, even after this matchup, have to play LG next week, which is practically a mirror match. It's 2 extremely aggressive teams, and it's definitely going to be one for the books, but they have to get through this and win this game first.
Certainly possible, though. We've seen some really smart plays. Like I said, they didn't always work, but I got some faith in Reciprocity to be able to at least keep the defense rounds interesting. I think might come down to how well they do their attacks, because DZ always has really interesting defenses as well. But Buck can be hugely important here in opening up the floor. But not only that, but you've got the backup of the Gridlock to open up the floor if they happen to Nitro BC, which they're certainly trying to do. They at least have, I imagine, 2 Nitros they had available there, if not 3, depending on when they're out. Yep, Mark brought his and used it. Sky's also barbed wire, though, so thank you for picking that up. And note what Laxing as well. Just so one C4 and already expended. That's going to make BC's job a lot easier. As I say that, he gets downed and back up. So maybe not. If they can hit him from below. Heck, at this point, Skies could hit him with the super shorty from below and be enough to finish him off.
Absolutely a well-placed cam from Laxing upstairs as well inside of the dining hall that you guys could see, where he's getting quite a bit of information on what was currently happening on the floor above the site. Some damage already dealt to BC as we saw him downed earlier as well, so he's going to be down to 20 HP. Not very much time remaining either, and all the operators currently in game are still alive, so things are going to get pretty crazy here in an instance. Can DC possibly see his knee? He's actually been down, so it's going to be a free kill. Foxay finds 2, so in between Foxay and Skies, these early picks have been working out so well for them, and they're actually going to be from underneath, and he gets a triple already. Skies to tack on. All of a sudden, it's left up to Mint. After a mere 20 seconds, the entire script's been flipped on DarkZero, and they're in very, very treacherous waters as Reciprocity finds their second defensive round.
For a map they're not playing in Pro League, they look very comfortable on this map.
That's what I was telling you. I mean, you can tell from the different operator lineups they've been bringing that they've definitely been scrimming this map. They're trying to get a better consensus of what they want to do on Kafe. Well, paying off in spades right now.
You got to imagine, if they go to Japan, they're going to probably be playing a lot of Kafe in international waters for sure. So that is definitely, they need to be prepared for this map.
Yeah, and we have, well, if you want to put it down to statistics, our best Kafe team definitely not going to Japan. So, for North America, because Rogue won't be there. Yeah.
That's unfortunate for Rogue. I mean, I hate to see that because that team has really had some big peaks and just lately not as much strength. I hope Redeemer can bring something to the team that they were missing.
Life is peaks and valleys, my friend. That's how it works.
Keeps it interesting. That's where topography comes from.
That's what's going on with Reciprocity right now as well, though. They've been in a slump.
I love this response to the way that Reciprocity been playing. You know what we should do? Let's bring Lion.
Hey, keeps him in the building.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point, depending on when you time it. It is so short now that I do feel like you really have to be a lot more strategic. And I think that was the smartest thing they did in the change, was making it short, because now you have to pay so much more attention to when you use it.
The way that I see Lion now is that you have to get initial information before you use his.
Yeah, you need to use it for something.
Yeah, it used to be you just pop it, you run inside, and they're more than likely going to be in a default area. You shoot them.
I'll fully admit, I played the heck out of Lion when he first came out because
I don't like you.
Because I'm terrible at fragging, and I could sit and spawn and drone for people, and when you need the Lion, just tell me, and it would last for so long, it would enable serious fragging for fraggers. Now I feel like just playing that same way, it has not been nearly as effective because you need, as you said, the intel first. DarkZero been doing a decent job on their droning, and there is no Mozzie this time, but there's still the mute. So they still need to deny that, as you said, so that he can't catch them. But it was a 6-pick. They don't know.
Yeah, but the major thing is that Thatcher's banned. That might be a big reason as to why Thatcher was banned.
Oh, yeah, and it's also really helping the mute, because the Humidor was a perfect example of that, because they could have just normally have Thatchered that. So yeah, it's certainly helping at it, and I mean, it's interesting that Retro's actually going to be let Mark play it this time, and he's going to be on the smoke. Something, as you said, they play a lot of normally, hadn't been playing up till this point. Laxing as well on the Legion for the first time for them as well, so definitely changing things up, but of course this is a different bomb site reading room now. There's the first EE1D going to come out and not really catch a whole lot, but between that and the gridlock tracks, they're hoping to at least gain map control. Top floor is essential, but guess who's still up there? Fox and Laxing. The newer version of the dynamic duo, not going to give it away. This is where things start to get spicy. Oh, but for Hot and Cold more than anyone else. Fox again with opening kills.
And Nyx has new drop balcony, or excuse me, new drop hatch open as well. So don't know exactly where that frag came from. Laxing playing the long angle from heaven. They have complete control of Christmas now. Foxay has completely faltered off, though. They have no idea Laxing's here, which is a very, very big deal. He might be able to get yet another
angle.
Oh, no. Might be able to get yet another kill here earlier on because there has been no drones to rotate in. Nyx, is he going to make the fatal error? No, he actually is going to get the diffuser and be able to rotate away. Laxing can't even move yet because of the EE1D being active. It looks like they're going to hound themselves down on site. Drone already coming in. Quick shots. He downs one inside of Cigar. Will be able to call that out. Is he going to go for the impact underneath?
He should. Absolutely. They're going to take time to get to him, but nope, maybe he's expecting them to expect that.
That hatch is reinforced as well.
Oh, that will make a problem. But you know what? Fox is there. Is that's 2 for him this round, at least, so. And Hyper as well, low on health, could be the 3rd. However, not going to let it happen. No EE1Ds left, but plenty of bullets in that drum mag.
Yeah, this is the traditional playstyle of Reciprocity. They're going to continue to try and force you to fight for map control. Sky's got that kill earlier on, and then immediately, or excuse me, Foxy got that kill earlier on, and then immediately rotates downstairs, back up white stairs, back into Freezer, where they really don't know that he's going to be sitting unless they re-drone the entire area. So very heads-up play from him to beg him that second kill. Now all the soft destruction is starting, Emzo, at 30 seconds, which is a huge deal.
Yeah, it's all on BC to make a play here and get someone, because it's a 4v3, 20 seconds left, Hyper low in health. Mark gets a kill into BC. Mint now going to have to help save this with Hyper.
Yeah, not a very good situation here. Mint's trying to watch flank. They're trying to get this reading room door open. They're getting read out from the Evil Eye, though, as everyone is just lying in waits inside of the site. Sells one offside as well, and that's going to be it. Reciprocity with 3 rounds straight. It doesn't appear that this train's going to be stopping anytime soon. And well, there's no timeouts online, so DarkZero is going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem here. Of course, to be fair, DarkZero have the spot locked in. Not as much pressure on them to win this. Although, if they would prefer to play against Evil Geniuses in Japan, then they would want to win this because they want to lock Reciprocity out. And so DarkZero do have, I imagine, some preference on who they would like to fight there. And that will, of course, influence their matches to an extent.
That's
at the same time,
being the gatekeeper.
But of course, that also depends on the other team to show up and how well they fight against it. So a lot to be said for that. But Capitao not being banned, as I said, lately in North America, is going to get used. It is surprising it took this long. I'm surprised Mint didn't call it for like a Blackbeard like we saw him do on Border the one day when, you know, he just wanted to change it up a little bit. I do like that they're trying to adapt, but it's not really working if Fox can just keep doing what he's doing early on. He's not playing the aggressive Jaeger this time, though, or you know, Mozzie or anything like that. He's going to be on the Maestro. He's going to be playing a bit safer. We did see him kind of not contributing as much as we would have liked to the last time they lost this site, but they did win it the second time. So we'll see if the Capitao there is going to be a big deal, though. Could be used to help burn out Maestro from his position, because it could possibly hit the Firebolt from the New Hatch drop area, for example, or even if they repel those windows, a tiny bullet hole through the window is enough to get that arrow through. You don't have to open the window up to repel on it. He could get the angle. So plenty of ways to use that Capitao, even from Skylight to an extent. So it is really going to be on Mint to stay alive and make sure his utility is a game changer, having 6th pick to it, and they, you know, not going to know right away until they hear the para go off.
Sky's role in this team has changed so much since when they first picked him up on defense. All he was playing was smoke prior, and now we see him on this carousel of operators. I mean, Alibi, Jaeger, he's been all over the map,
It's been a good flex for them, though.
Yeah, he really
reminds me of Canadian, playing kind of the IGL and the flex, just trying to bring whatever he thinks they might need that round.
Yeah, honestly, I think Alibi is a very good pickup, specifically for this site and how they've been wanting to play it inside of the actual Christmas area, making it to where they really can't challenge those windows. I really don't know where he's going to place these Alibis, but that was my initial thought when I saw them.
Yeah.
Let's place them near the window so when they shoot through, obviously you have free information.
You got to know they're going to shoot through those.
He honestly might use them to run out.
It's certainly possible. You can throw them out, make them think there's a run out, and then run out somewhere else. I mean, we don't see that too often in Pro League, but it's a possibility. One Firebolt already used, though, on the Christmas stage, trying to clear stuff up. But guess what? Mark's not there, just taking about half his health and damage. He needs Retro's back up again this time, though. He is starting to get pinned down. But guess what? He's almost burned a minute and a half again.
Just because you're on roam and haven't gotten a kill doesn't mean it's worth what you're doing. He's wasting so much time right now, and that's his main objective. Waste as much time as possible in here. If he can get this down to yet another minute, that would be fantastic.
Entirely
Reciprocity is definitely in the driver's seat.
He's also forced them to burn utility.
That's a big frag.
He had to burn a frag. They had to burn a frag. They had to burn at least one Firebolt. Like, he's burned some utility and a minute and a half. Like, that's not bad for Mark there. Sky's also, though, has used up all his utility in terms of his impacts. All of his Alibi Prismas are out as well. He's got that Bailiff to open up some more floor if he wants to, but he's already got one angle. As long as they don't pressure him, I'm not sure if they know he's there, because you see Mint, he's not, for example, holding an angle on the window. The Maestro Evil Eye doing some damage yet again. Fox is having fun with that.
I get a free kill off of this rappel. They do choose to go through. Alibi's been placed upstairs. You guys can see one of the Prisma marks through the flooring. They do have Christmas control now, but BC is getting damaged up. Mint might swing in here, and again, this might be a free kill for Skies below, unless he might claim another as BC's above him, but Skies isn't even aware. He's trying to battle himself up red stairs right now. Hyper and Hot and Cold, lying inside of Cigar as well. So they have complete control at the southwest side of the building. Nick's still on the roof on drone as well, as Mint's going to challenge in towards heaven. Nobody's home currently, though. He does see a barrel. He's going to pre-fire through. Is the Maestro even aware of his situation?
His gun is just like a flag sticking up right there right now. It's like Sledge's hammer used to.
Yeah, absolutely. That ult is massive. The barrel on that thing is huge. 25 seconds, though. Smoke start to go downstairs. Foxday with the first frag, but it's immediately refragged by Hotton as Sky tries to rotate in, but gets eaten alive by Mint. And all of a sudden, it's going to be DZ in the driver's seat. Retro trying to rotate in, but Laxian will fight in one to try and shut things down. Diffuser will go down in the hands of Hot and Cold. Mint going to stay up top. BC trying to shut down rotation as Retro tries to battle his way into Christmas. Is he even aware of the man on piano? Laxian rotates in, but he's going to see him hop out the window right on the tailcoats. Not enough time. Mint rotating in as well. He's actually going to get caught out by Laxian, but the other two remaining on the roof. This is damn near impossible for these two to try and win this out.
Certainly possible. Laxian, of all people, might be able to clutch this, but with such low health, he almost needs Retro to sacrifice himself to make this happen here.
He can't, though. Nobody's got a Nitro Cell. This is over. You really can't do anything. He's actually going to end up dying to track stingers. Retro's just going to try and defuse, but
might as well.
He's going to be shot from actually new drop.
Well, that was, again, a assault towards the end. I mean, they're pushing them into this desperation with time management. They're forcing them into situations where they kind of have to frag out. It's just unfortunate for Reciprocity. They're not holding off well enough against that.
I think the main thing for Reciprocity right now in their defense is, as you said, they're doing a very good job of wasting time, but when it comes down to crunch time and DarkZero has to try and force something, Reciprocity hasn't been doing a very good job of being able to battle back against that. It almost seems like comms either deteriorate or people are just not placed in the proper areas to shut down that push.
I think a lot of it's timing. So, for example, like someone like Fox is great at delaying a push on there, but if his timing is not on point, if he's busy on cams or he's doing something else, or even just hiding from shots, he could be setting himself up to fail. And the smokes definitely helped them that round. They, of course, didn't have anything to counter. Warden would have been useful there. No, I'm just kidding. But that was what helped. The Capitao play, getting those smokes down as well, that was a play, although that might have been from the gridlock, actually. Hard to say. I didn't see how this went down, but that did help because that screwed up their timing in terms of their ability to fight against that. So DarkZero did play it smart in terms of making sure that if they were going to be pushing in and getting the plant down, they were able to do so, but that did also come down to those gunfights and whether or not they were able to. Also, the timing from, I think it was it Skies that was downstairs, coming up right into a crossfire was not ideal. Laxian, unfortunately, wasn't there to try and save it the late round early enough. As you said, he saw someone hopping out the window. It could have been an easy kill on someone's back. So it was just timing, and smoke for me.
So the last time that Reciprocity played this map, Kafe, was all the way back on July 13th. In European time, so probably July 12th for all of our North Americans here. But they ended up losing to TSM 8-3.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So for this being more of a newer map,
weird scoreline. I'm going to assume that's 7-3, and they just mixed up their statistics there because 8-3 absolutely makes zero sense.
Yeah.
So
good pest usage there.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that was a little bit of a miscalculation there on the statistical.
No, they just won so hard they got a bonus.
Yeah, they got a bonus round. I don't know exactly why the website's saying that, but hey, it's whatever.
But yeah, you missed it there too as well. The good pest usage, they denied the drone going in through the normal kitchen bakery doorway. And so they're forced to drone upstairs more so than downstairs for this kitchen and set up above first. But that also means they're not dedicating a ton of drones downstairs yet either. And if anyone upstairs is able to deny a lot of these as well, their drone economy and time management is going to be pretty poor yet again this round. And last time it did kind of come down to, like, say, for example, Buck play from above. BC this time, though, on Sledge instead of Buck, interestingly enough. I don't know, what the reason for the choice is. The way he's playing it, I don't think it matters a ton, just personal preference possibly, but we know he's a really good Buck, so.
You can have more soft destruction with Sledge rather than Buck. Because
like a wee bit more?
Well, I mean, he can break 25 things with a sledgehammer.
But don't you get nearly 25 shots with
No, you have 16.
I felt like it was 25, but 16.
No,
okay.
it's I want to say it's 16 plus 4, something like that. I'm not the Buck. I am not the Buck. I just know the skeleton key has less, breaching ability than Sledge does from, from up to down.
I suppose so. It's fair if you know you're always going to be attacking downwards. It doesn't matter as much. So yeah, there is that. See if these concussions from Hyper make any difference here. Try and take out that Electric Cloud. It did do its work, so they're now Hot and Cold able to open up the hatch. That does make me think, though, going to go with a hatch drop in a freezer because Hot and Cold is the diffuse carrier. Whether they do it right now or do it later, that is likely the plan. Now, last time, though, they did lose the diffuser and freezer, and that did kind of put a huge problem in their plans, and gotta imagine that's a big risk. They need to drone this properly first. They need to know, for example, where Fox is playing, where Laxing's playing, heck, where Retro is playing to be able to make this work, because if they push in there, if they drop and it's called out, all they have working for them is smokes, possibly for Mint or Nyx, to be able to cover that.
The huge issue is right now is if they do dedicate themselves, the defense really doesn't have an anchor operator. I mean, they have Retro, but all he has is an ACOG. The only other thing that you're really using to prevent is going to be Nitro Cells. There's no Yokai drones,
We're not
obviously.
even bringing a ton either.
Yeah, no Evil Eyes, nothing really. It's just going to be information and trying to get your kills with your gun. You don't really have any utility to offer to try and stop this. And it looks like it's going to happen all right now. Hot and Cold drops a quick frag, and Mark will actually be able to clean up yet a second one. So we're still on even man count. Laxing rotates in, takes down Hyper, as the plant will soon ensue. Hot and Cold on the plant as BC will be holding his angle. Laxing rotated in. He's not even aware of the situation. They're already all over the diffuser. BC has to try and pick it up. Skies with that frag, and Reciprocity even on their split. 4-2 on round count, and actually a very, very good job, especially after we brought up what they've done recently on Kafe. They haven't even found 4 rounds in any game, and they found 4 rounds on the defensive side.
They won every side at least once, and twice for Kitchen. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, Bar wasn't always as successful for them, but it is the most attacked and defended site, so it is one that everyone knows well. And again, that just comes down to the timing and gunfights, things like that. So it happens, but overall, that was a very impressive defensive set there, especially with Bar not being the reason they were winning a lot of the defensive rounds. It was the other sites. So, and the tease Nook play there. Come on, Fox, why you got to tease us like that?
Vigil was just trying to hang out with his cousin. That's all. You know.
Yeah, I assume they're somehow related in that sense.
Yeah, I wish Vigil did the exact same thing as Nook, because could you imagine a Defender that was quieter?
Well, I mean, you've got 2 cousins on the side of DarkZero, so why not 2 cousins, across the board there? I don't know, the lore gets so intertangled. Maybe it'll be revealed someday.
Nook is redacted on like all fronts.
Yeah. So you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Anyways, though, that's not going to be the play. Fox is going to be on the action instead. But yeah, the Vigil will definitely be in play, and his camera in a good spot there to be able to see all of pillars all the way across to that reading door. Could be pretty useful there to be able to help cover a lot of the mid floor, because that's where a lot of the action on it's going to be to start with, is taking control of that pillars, as well as, of course, this train and mining area. But Kitchen being the site, you know that middle floor has to be taken here for this attack. They are, of course, going to have Buck, just like BC was bringing, or the Sledge. But they also are bringing the Gridlock for the same sort of strategy. It also acts as a backup for the Buck if he dies due to C4, something like that. I gotta wonder, though, how much C4 are we seeing? When it was Kitchen defense for Reciprocity, even that last round, they're still just bringing 1 C4. So maybe we can take a look at a few of the operators, the Bandit, the Valk in there. So 1 C4. Take a look at the Bandit and the Mozzie as well, and see if we can find out. So there's another C4, and then no C4 on that one. So 2 C4s to stop the plays from above. So
nice.
1 already,
Or was it used? Retro already has damage done to him, so I'm
he might have been thrown at Skylight.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, I will tell you one thing, though. They are going to be bringing that Gridlock, as you were saying earlier, but the one thing that majorly impacts those tracks are impacts. Impacts are a massive deal when you're trying to go for a late flanks and tracks are in your way, and they have 2 sets of them.
Well, they have a little bit less because they brought
the bulletproof.
Yeah, exactly.
You're correct. So they have 1
But yeah,
set.
you got to imagine that the Legion's going to be on impacts for sure, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's not a single Legion in the entire world that doesn't run impacts.
Oh, it's one of the best parts. Just
impacts are just, again, they're so important inside of this game. I do like the bulletproof placement, though, by Houghton. I like that he's playing Vigil as well. Can't wait for that Boss G ACOG, so very excited for that.
Yeah, big hype for that. Maybe they'll announce that at Japan.
No one will ever use the K1A ever again.
Well, already a little bit of aggression attempting to come out here from Fox. Obviously not trying to clear 80s, but actually trying to flash the stairs. He does catch a pest there, make sure that it's not a problem for him. But obviously that meant he had to kind of go in there blind, and that's why he was using the flashes to clear the stairs, because he couldn't drone in there. Floor getting opened up a little bit here to an extent. So they're starting to look for some opportunities and not getting any. DarkZero playing very passive and not allowing themselves to be caught. They're not bringing the mute, but the Mozzie's definitely doing some work in at least slowing down this push. And burning 2 minutes without a kill here. Still pretty good start. Once they start opening the floor, though, DZ need to continue to play just out of reach. And then it could be an easy round win if they could just stop gunfights towards the end, because they're not going to be spending time trying to open up walls for a kitchen attack. This is a very top-down attack.
I love this setup by DarkZero. You guys can see that they put up wooden barricades on the door upstairs inside of the train area. And with Vigil downstairs playing directly underneath, they really don't know if he's there or not when that ERC7 backpack is on. Due to the fact that it also has height to it, just like mute jammers do. So he's actually able to be, detected upstairs from his backpack. And with those barricades in the way, you can't face check to go, okay, he's actually here.
And then probably
go and scare to go, okay, is he here or is he not here?
Absolutely.
And then you bait all of their drones and everything else, and it works out very, very well. So I kind of like this different take on the Mute Mozzie combo, bringing a Vigil in there, working out very well for them, because look at that timer right now, only 12 seconds remaining. Everyone's still alive, only a little bit of damage done to BC, and they have to force themselves onto site. This looks like it's going to be no holds barred, run into Freezer. Nyx finds the first one. Actually, no, it's going to be Hyper. Skies to second it up, but no, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath, and it doesn't even matter. DarkZero running out on top in the first defensive round for them.
Still well played by Skies and surviving for as long as he didn't have Freezer fighting it out, but yeah, it didn't really matter, and at the end of the day, it's just too long.
Starved.
Yeah.
Just starved for info, man.
Good utility usage on both the Vigil and the Mozzie, as well as just trying to do a good job slowing them down as much as possible, never giving them any free picks is the important thing. Is, I mean, we saw a very different strategy for that. For example, the way Mark was playing when it was on defense for Reciprocity, they were willing to contest it, but they were contesting it in a way that delayed a ton of time with the utility usage. So either way, both teams really trying to mix it up. Some good 6-picks coming out here. The IQ, of course, going to be helpful in trying to catch out what he can early on, like the Mute Jammers, but no Mozzie this time, and a 6-pick to the Castle for Bar here. You don't see a lot of Castle played on Bar, so it'll be interesting to see where that gets used. For example, could that be used to help deny the Freezer angle that we were talking about? Like BC right next to that door right now, if he decides to Castle barricade that, they no longer benefit from that angle, unless they go like prone and try and catch a foot.
I really don't see that in the cards for them. I think that what's going to happen is he is going to barricade that angle, so it's safer to play inside of Freezer. They don't have anything to deny the wall, so they're going to have to either try and hold down Christmas or just make an extremely strong hold on White Stairs in order to not force him to break that backbone.
They do have the Mute, right? And without Thatcher in play, they do have to find a way to take that out. They don't have the Twitch.
But they have to go for a mid-clear because of that IQ.
Yeah.
So that's really their only benefactor in order.
That's still going to burn up so much time.
Oh yeah,
force them to get the wall open. I still
Kafe.
think it's worth it. Yeah. I mean,
attacking Kafe is so much fun.
They're still going to mute it. Like, there's no way they're not going to mute it on that for sure. Yeah. And also, you know, we're not seeing Thermite.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because Thermite works very well to just open up Red Wall and to open up the Freezer. So the fact that we're going with Hibana instead, I got to imagine that factors into the way they were playing to open it up. Is that a Castle Barricade?
It's a Castle Barricade. They placed that there to, I'm going to assume, mute minibar.
Well, Mark being the Sledge makes short work of that, yeah.
It's gone. Doesn't matter.
He's going to give Mint some fresh crisp air.
He's actually muted under the window so that they can't throw drones through.
I like that. Just a little bit. I mean, they might be able to get an angle
upside down
when they're closer, but yeah, from the ground level or from the mid level, it's going to probably hit that jammer.
Yeah, absolutely. Fox A trying to get on the sky. Well, angle doesn't find too much at home. Well, Retro's going to actually have the first kill.
Mint was one step ahead.
Yeah, Mint trying to run outside and do what Skies did earlier.
Yeah, why would Retro try and run out? He's not the kind of guy I would expect that. He really thought he had an opportunity.
Well, Retro's on offense, so he didn't run out. But Mint.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mint. Why did I read that as the other way around? Yeah.
I almost did the same thing.
Mint makes more sense to run out the Retro, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fox A now trying to get some drones in. It's going to get eaten up by the Evil Eye, though. Both of these teams have done such a good job on defense of being able to starve the offense of their utility as well as information. And it seems like that's going to continue to ensue. Does not appear to have one of his castle barricades on that freezer door, but they're locked at the top of red stairs. There's really nothing that they can do at this point. Smoke is just having a field day. Hyper inside of the cigar area. Castle barricade on the double door towards Christmas. I really like this setup they have going on.
Cover your flanks. I mean, the thing is, you know, castle barricades won't last forever, but if they can help you stay alive in a position for a while, is again another attempt at denying Christmas as long as possible, because that is the key to this site.
Very intelligent play here from Hyper. Recognizes out that he still has one piece of utility, I do believe, at the end of the day. So shotguns open, the hatch rotates over to White to try and play out his life and help DarkZero on site because he knows the execution has to happen at some point. They've wasted so much time, but a nice rotation from Nyx. Is he going to get the second one as well? No, not enough bullets in the mag. Switches over to the pistol and Mark goes down as well. It's a double kill. Immediately hightails it out of there, down to the second level. It's Retro, Fox, and Laxing to try and pick up the pieces.
Definitely look like a defense that might work yet again with the man advantage, and also damage to both Fox and Retro, but Fox still fighting back here from the freezer. If he can push down Bart, nope, he's not going to, because Hot and Cold's doing what Fox couldn't with that Alda.
All up to Laxing in a 1 versus 3. They know exactly where he is, especially after that pre-fire with the F90 in such terrible, terrible territory, and DarkZero with the laser beam from the Evil Eye will claim round 8.
Well played by DarkZero there. Just Reciprocity again getting a little lost on time, but also just pushing a little sloppily, not really having a good idea where the flanks were coming from, just getting caught on a lot of those. You saw especially on the new hatch drop area, that play just absolutely decimating Mark. Not a whole lot they could do from there. And just a little bit of sloppiness, I feel like, from Reciprocity, trying to be a little more aggressive with their map control, not properly securing it first. and definitely come back to bite them, because I feel like that was a reaction to that first round where they got plenty of time for map control because no one was contesting them, but then they ran out of time in the end. They didn't want to be in that same situation, so they took it faster. That seemed to bite them in the end. At least the early kill by Retro from the Claymore was something.
Hey, I mean, the thing is about Reciprocity is they're always ready for people to play like them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes you kind of encourage the opponent to play that way by doing that.
Exactly. Whether you get under their skin or not, it's just like, I can do this better. Don't worry about it. And you throw yourself in a window and get Claymore. But if you guys are just joining us, I do want to update you guys still on what is happening currently with the playoffs. So DarkZero, if you're a DarkZero fan, you guys are already clinched. You don't have to worry about anything. They can lose against Reciprocity and lose their next game. They're still going to Japan. It doesn't matter. They're the first ones to clinch in the entire world. So again, tip of the cap to them. But Reciprocity needs to either win 2 with EG losing 1 or tying 1, or they need to win 1 and tie 1 if EG wins 1 and loses 1. So either way, they need to win or tie.
Yeah.
If they lose 1, then it's basically all on Evil Geniuses to lose this, then win the next one, and then EG loses again.
Well, good news is trying to win or tie has been every team's goal since the beginning of the season. Yeah. So I think they're on board with that.
Same goal.
Yeah.
Same goal.
I think we're going to try to do what we've been doing. Yeah.
Just get points, please.
No one wants to tie, least of all Rogue and SSG at this point, but it happens.
Yeah, Rogue kind of got the SSG gene there, didn't they?
They certainly did. It seems to be contagious, at least to Rogue.
Caught the bug.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, makes sense. So they brought over a former SSG member with the Redeemer. Hey, maybe you're patient zero. Can you help us cure this? We're gonna study you.
Can we extract your blood and use this for the antidote? I'd really appreciate
Redeemer's
it.
there to bleed for Rogue.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. All right, well, it's going to be a top clear here on Kafe, really reminiscent of the old Hereford strats. It's like, hey, we just start top and we just clear to bottom. That's
Hereford
really all we do. Remember those? You just start on the top floor and just go all the way down every single time, because that's the only way you clear that map.
Basement.
That's kind of how things are going right now. But we do kind of have a bunker set up, for lack of a better term, across the map over on the east side by DarkZero. We have BC over there as Legion, so definitely going to be having to watch for these goo mines. That's going to be on Retro to make sure that none of those exist, all except for that one, which Foxay can clearly see with his eyes, and he also sees the second one, and possibly the third. He's trying to shoot it off the floor right now, but that's going to be almost half of Legion's utility burned up already.
This time he's right about someone on white stairs trying to flash them out first. That's where Warden would have done just great.
Yeah, of course, right?
Just messing with you.
Yeah, not with that.
Fox.
Last one's going to be...
The velocity system still trips people up to this day. Drones especially, you see them mess those up occasionally, but it's tricky, man. It's tricky. At least he gets 3, and that was the last one, so.
Oh, Fox is creeping up hot and cold, no longer on the stairs. I know it does appear that he is, but he's actually going to be on the level below him. Those silhouettes kind of get you sometimes. You got to pay attention to the center color and see if it's actually the person or not. But no, it's just going to be hot and waiting downstairs. They're doing a great job of denying time. That's what this entire strat is set up for, folks. They want to try and deny as much time as possible to Reciprocity because they have not been able to put the pieces together in order to form anything in these dire moments here under that 45-second mark.
They have top floor control this time, at least. So that they have step 1 complete, but 45 seconds is not a lot of time. And Laxing dying. Amazi just catching a drone right then as well. You see it. He has 2 drones. Oh, that's not good here for the time management for Reciprocity.
Especially with this timing, you already know that, well, their drone economy is piss poor at this point. They really can't do very much.
Hot and Cold's doing more droning than them at this point.
Yeah, they're going to have to go down to just face checking everything, and that's not going to spell very, very well for them. Rotating down white now, but it's going to be Retro to start things off. Hot to eat the dirt next, and all of a sudden Reciprocity comes alight. Hyper, very, very damaged. Needs to stim himself up. Mint's still on full HP. Skies get the diffuser down, but Mint's waiting on his rotate. He finds Retro, so Skies definitely knows that he's lying inside of pillars. They found some safe harbor, though, inside of the actual site as they do go to lay down. It's actually going to be Hyper to lose out the fight against Foxy. You thought he was going to win it, but he wasn't prepared for the peak. Mint in a 1 versus 3, quickly dispatched by the Ash, and Reciprocity finally come awake here on their offensive side.
Ash definitely working out for Fox that time. I think it was a 3 or 4K for him, definitely laying down the law. And that flurry of kills when time came down, that looked like a DarkZero round in the sense of what we saw with their attacks on bar. Just getting those gunfights in, but also getting Skies in there for the plant, that was the play right there, because they lost too many people right around the site, and the time it took them for them to come back, that was plant time.
They forced the proper side. It seemed like a lot of DarkZero was poised to try and stop a white push. They were not poised to try and stop a reading push from the opposite side, and they just flooded the door. I mean, sometimes when it comes down to it, funneling does end up working out. It's a really weird thing, but sometimes it does.
Well, luckily that's a room where you know pretty much where to look, because most people don't play on the side.
There's not very many safe locations.
Yeah. the side that has the door facing into the red hallway rarely gets people playing in it for the most part, unless they're using it to kind of peek the other door. So most people are going to be on the side that opens into pillars. And so because of that, you kind of know where to look when you go in there. So yeah, you can funnel in there if it's a place where you know, here's where I have to be peeking, especially if you've droned it first.
Yeah, it also appeared that the sledge of Mark actually dropped down laundry hatch as well.
Yeah, that's
he was inside of laundry room, so I'm going to assume that he dropped down that hatch as well. So overall, in the dying moments,
yeah,
very good take from Reciprocity.
There were definitely dying moments for DZ.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It was definitely the dying moments for DarkZero.
Looking good for Reciprocity though, taking the lead again.
Yeah, I mean, if this continues to go down the same path that it did on the defensive side for them, then we're probably going to end up at a tie, and then it comes down to EG losing and tying.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I almost want to tie just to keep it more interesting. Just because then because then the next that match matters even more. Nyx though, starting things off, killing Fox. That's the Ash. Not going to be entering to this map. So good starting kill, good revenge for how well Fox did last round. So I imagine possibly a little bit of a jump out. Didn't see exactly where he got.
He shot him from the window under heaven. Or excuse
there you go.
New drop. Oh, goes fishing, and Hyper's gonna find 2 kills. Mark and Retro are out, down for the count, and this is definitely just gonna be round over right here.
Yeah, this is.
You really can't come back from
45 seconds in, and it's just about done.
All of that utility, all of those drones gone. You can't do much. All you really have is track stingers and some hard destruction. And if either of them dies, this becomes even more dire. DarkZero especially, they're not going to give it to you.
And Gridlock's not much of a fragging role. Habana can be, but this is gonna be uphill battle.
This is a wash. That's just when that happens, just go, okay, well, we're looking forward to the next round. What's going on?
I feel like if one of them dies within the next 15 seconds, they might as well just call and spend some time doing some strat work for the next round.
They're probably already talking about it, to be completely honest with you.
You almost need another separate voice channel so you don't clutter up these comms.
Yeah, at this point in time, you just turtle on site if you are on the defensive side, and you just start discussing what you want to do with your next site. You just hold all of your angles, make sure that they can't get in, and then that's about it. You really don't have to worry too much. Granted, we have seen crazy things in the past with 1v5s and everything, but again, it's going to be very, very tall order here. Skies, the timing. Is he going to win it out anyways? He will, but it's going to take quite a bit of damage for his leisure. Nyx will falter off, and plenty of those goo mines will be down upstairs as well, but this one seems to be more of a horizontal attack more than anything.
Well, the upside of the other players dying early on attack is at least it gives the attackers more time to try and clutch from there, but yeah, low health for Skies as well. Gonna be difficult to frag out from there. He's gonna have to catch people unknowing.
All right, well, Laxing now rotating in towards box. He does have it tracked off, but faces back towards north windows as Skies is making this all the more possible. People just keep giving him the angle, man. He keeps winning out with this ACOG. It's actually starting to get a little scary for the defense here. Just don't peek. Just do not peek. 30 seconds left. They still have drone pressure as well, as obviously all they have are pests. Still 2 smoke grenades as well on Laxing, so this is actually completely doable, but definitely not after that. Skies continue to have to worry about these goo mines of Nyx, so do rotate in. Still one angle to worry about from the front of kitchen. I hope that's not going to be a TK. That would just be heartbreaking here. Smoke pours in through the window over towards bags. Splashes continue to stun out Mint. He's actually inside of the smoke though. BC to find the first one. He doesn't even know Mint's here. Laxing to find the first, but it's going to be Hyper to put a nail in that coffin, and DarkZero to tie things up.
Certainly possible there, the way they were playing at the end. This guy's being on such low health though certainly did not help, but that was difficult. I mean, well played, given the limited utility and health they had left. That certainly got close. I mean, they managed to kill 3 of the 5 in a 2v5. That's pretty good. So, unfortunately, DarkZero peaked a little bit too much, but at the end of the day, hey, they come home with the round. That's all that matters. Now we're looking at that possible tie situation. Fox teasing the Nook again. He's going to stick it. He's using it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's the Ying play.
Oh, my God.
Against the Clash. This should be interesting. I love the use sometimes of operators you always expect the 6th pick from to cover another 6th pick.
What is this offensive lineup?
And Mint on a shield, though. We
have Fox on Nook. So, okay. Completely theory crafting here. Yeah. I believe that this is how this round's going to go. Okay,
I'm with you.
So, Fox A is going to go on the complete Splinter Cell mission of going off by his lonesome, trying to get a flank up some stairs or something. He's going to get interrupted by Barb. Clash is going to be there holding that, so he's going to get stuck. And what they're going to try to do, is they're going to use all of those Kandalas up front to try and make a big show for them to focus.
Yeah.
And then Skies comes in from behind.
I think
that's going to be very hard with Clash in play.
That puts a big kink in that, and of course they didn't know about that.
As well as doesn't Mute Jammers interrupt her hell pressure, her hell presence detector thing? I can't think of the current name of. I'm pretty sure it does.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I don't remember if that does or not.
I'm pretty sure that is a direct comment.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, the hell presence reduction. Apologies, chat.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if that ends up being a problem for Fox. They're likely to know where all the mute jammers are because they'll stop the drones. So I don't think that's going to be a huge surprise. So it's up to him. If he knows that they're a counter, then he's going to stay off of them.
Fox and Skies have been changing operators so much. I don't even know which one of them is playing which
they've
anymore.
been doing that all season. Like they're a very comfortable team on a lot of different roles.
That's
and it's not unusual for them.
all 5 flex, man. All 5 flex. That's what they like to play.
I mean, it's Retro and Mark that tend to be a bit more of like the
stagnant.
But at the same time, they've been changing up roles too. So certainly this whole team knows how to flex. I'm honestly surprised Fox didn't try and crouch in there. It didn't kind of walk in underneath instead of like giving it away. But hopefully they didn't hear the FMG9 because you get used to the gun sounds as players. You can start to identify who they are. And there we go. Catches them on cams ironically, but now they know.
Oh, it's going to be a really big gunfight. Retro actually gets a knife upstairs. What is happening? What is happening on site? Foxe falters off, but BC and Houghton, the only 2 remaining after Mark actually ended up, or I believe Retro got a knife kill. They're all over Cocktail. Sky's trying to put the diffuser down. He has that T95 as well. It's just a pre-fire machine. We have no idea what happened on site, but Reciprocity is going to end up finding the round.
You know who was the distraction? It was
Nook.
It was Nook. Out of all of that, while he's creeping up, like you said, doing a splinter cell thing, we missed the just shock and awe that must have been there. You saw smokes. You saw. I believe
I heard some Candelas go off.
Oh yeah, it was a fireworks show upstairs, and boy did that work.
Wow.
They only lost.
I wish we would have got to seen that.
Yeah, that's.
All of a sudden, I just saw a knife kill come up, and I just go, "What is happening on site?"
I wouldn't have expected that early in the round. That was
completely out of random, especially with Clash playing up there as well.
Important thing though, 1 point locked in.
That's true.
For the contest for Japan.
So it goes over. It goes over to the tie prerogative instead of the loss and 1 win.
Yeah,
which is a very, very big deal.
This is certainly important here. Of course, they need to close this round out as well. They need that 3 points if they can get it, but.
In order for Reciprocity to tie and win one as well, if they win their next one, and this is a tie, they have to have EG at a maximum win 1 and lose 1. That's the max EG can do.
It's possible.
If they win both, they're out. If they win 1 and tie 1, they're also out.
Who is EG's 2 matches?
EG's next matchup is going to be DarkZero after today, where they play SSG. Gatekeepers, DarkZero, Gatekeepers.
Well, they certainly seem like they're playing today. It does not seem like they're like, oh,
there's no sandbag attached.
No, there is definitely not. And I know we kind of said that's something that's a possibility, but I don't think DarkZero want to go down that way. This is just more practice for LAN. Certainly looking like one where they finally want to kind of get up there in Japan, I imagine. I mean, that LAN's a big deal for a lot of teams. So we will see them going with Mining Dining, interestingly enough. The rarest and what used to be the second bomb site for this map before the rework.
Now it's niche. Like actually, people go to Reading Hall more.
I love that there's an overlap, though, that Dining is the bomb site for 2 different bomb sites.
Yeah. Well, Dining's still a really good place. It only has 1 window now as well, which makes it so much more playable.
Oh, yeah. It used to be just, shoot
a death
fish in a
trap.
barrel. Yeah, exactly. You didn't want to hang out in there for too long.
Just stand on the southern roof out there by spawn and just shoot them right inside of Dining when they rotate in.
That's always fun.
So much nostalgia inside of this game, man. I've soon realized how many changes I've witnessed inside of this game for how long I've played it.
I've been doing this since year 1, and it's just so I have to sometimes remind myself of all the things that have gone on since then.
It's still weird to me that I'm sitting here casting this with you.
It's crazy, right?
It's actually insane. Like,
but I haven't died yet, right?
Yeah, I played Xbox like 3 years ago, and now I'm just sitting inside of Poland casting.
Oh boy! And these guys were playing Xbox.
Yeah, hey, I mean that's why they're my boys, man. I've known Skies for actually a long time because of that. I used to play against him quite often, which was
and good
awesome.
on them, just making the transition and keeping at it.
They've done such a fantastic job. Such a fantastic job.
Well, they have a chance here at going to Japan if they can keep this up here. Of course, a little bit slow this round, a minute 10 already burned, but hot and cold, not going to give him the freebie, just going to keep patient here. Fox still has 2 flashes left.
I love how surgical DarkZero is with their setups. They only sit in areas where they need to prevent. You don't see anybody getting extremely aggro except for a couple of moments in time, but other than that, it's very strategic. very set in stone what they want to do. We need to deny this. We can't let them have this. We'll risk a life here. We won't risk a life there. It's just so well put out. And again, tip of the cap to Bacon on being able to do that. Hyper playing the long angle as well as Doc. EE1Ds. Mark and Fox both lit up. He's actually going to challenge through the EE1D as the stun goes off, assuming someone's going to rush, and he'll be absolutely correct as Fox A pours in from behind the bar, takes down one. Skies will get fragged out, though, as Hot and Cold will claim his life, making this equal trade. But definitely not equal anymore as Hot and soon falters, and all of a sudden Reciprocity is in full control. They want this win, folks. They still have the diffuser as well on Retro. Laxing still has some EE1Ds as well.
Well, that was definitely what felt like the last 20 seconds of a round for a minute there. But of course, the top floor is not the bomb site, but they got the control they need. That is the most important part, setting this up. I bet they wish it was reading, though, at this point, because a lot more of the floor opening up would be in their benefit, but that's where opening up Christmas starts to become a thing, and they have not yet really worked on that too much.
This entire round is going to lie on if Mint can possibly get frags here. Retro didn't spot him out either.
What?
If they end up rotating in, Mint can win this entire round and make this a tie instead of a win. Reciprocity needs this win so bad as well. Has not been droned out once again. So Fox A has no idea that this man is here. If he drops off of heaven, he's more than likely dead.
Here we go.
Oh, they're all here. Mint needs to rotate in now. The E1D to come out. He's waiting on it, waiting for this plant. The first kill goes down. He takes down one. He takes down the second. Can Mint possibly get three to shut down this take completely? He needs to kill Retro, but no, it's going to be the first death from Mark. Retro all alone now, has a Gumai stuck in his leg. 1 second, has to force the plant, and it's going to be a tie after Nyx rotates in, puts a bullet in him, and oh my goodness, what a fight back from DarkZero.
You know what that was? A lesson in droning. Literally.
Inches.
Just.
Literal inches.
Yeah. One mistake in droning. That's all it takes.
That's Siege, man.
That's all it takes.
You can do everything right, but you do one thing wrong. If it's fatal enough, the game's over.
That's one thing we have.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think any other game really has. It's just the drones are such a game changer.
Oh, absolutely.
That right there was a, masterclass in if you're just in the right spot at the right time and you don't get droned, that can cost you the round. He got a 3K from one spot.